that has been in practice by the greatest minds in business for the last, 80 years? A long time. We're talking about a principle that came out of this book. It's called Think and Grow Rich. I don't know if you've read it or not. This came out in 1937. It was written by Napoleon Hill, and it is probably the acclaimed book that more millionaires, more billionaires attribute their success to. The principles in here. So we're going to talk about one in particular, which is kind of the core foundation that this entire book is written around, and that is your major definite purpose. That's what they call it. That may not resonate with you. You might be like, what is that? You could call it your life's work, your mission statement, or I would like to say it like a declaration of your plans to the world. And so what does that mean? It's a brand new start. It's a brand new beginning. Anything is possible. Like crazy stuff can go down this year. But if we're going to have those type of results, if we're going to see those kind of increases in our business and in our life and in our relationships and in our finances, we got to get serious about it. We're not going to float there on a cloud. We're going to have to do some work, and we're going to have some plans for how we're going to get there. So the principles that's talked about in here with your major definite purpose is basically taking those things that you hope for, those things that you're believing for in your heart, taking it out of your head and putting it down on paper. Putting it down on paper in a way that it's clear, it's concise, you have a specific time frame, and it gives you kind of a framework for you to go out there and get it. So in his book, he talks about 6 specific steps. Now he uses language from 1938, so I'm going to kind of paraphrase for today's terms. But the first thing in the steps is you want to decide exactly what you want. In here he says you want to basically get the exact amount of money that you're expecting to have, and the time frame that we want to see it in. So whatever it is that you want, what are you believing for? Are you believing for an increase in your business? Are you believing that you're going to go to the top of your comp plan? Or maybe you're already there and you want to help bring some people along with you. What is it that you want out of this whole deal? So we got to get real clear, real focused on what that might be. Let's go to number 2. We got to decide what we're going to give in return for that. The Bible says that service to many leads to greatness, right? Jim Rohn made that quote famous, but it came from the Bible. And so how are we going to serve the many to get what we want in return? Because money's not going to come out the sky for us. We're not going to just get there because people feel so gracious and they want to help us do it. We're going to have to give our time, our talent, our treasure. We're going to have to give something in return for what we want. So what is it that we're going to be willing to lay out there on the line to say, you know what? Hey, I'm going to sacrifice a little bit of TV time. I'm going to sacrifice this here. I'm going to sacrifice this here. And here's what I'm going to replace it with that's going to help serve some people and going to help grow my business. So we want to think about that. Number 3 is we want to have a specific date that you're planning to get this by. So I don't know about you, but I always like to set goals around big events. Let's say maybe you want to walk stage as a certain title, or you want to see some people in your team that they promote on up. Those are just good things to set it around. Obviously we have the entire rest of the year. So think about, what it is that you want and the date you're going to get it there by. Okay. Number 4 is you want to set an exact plan for how you're going to carry it out. Like, okay, we know what we want. We set the date we want it by. Now we know what we're going to give. What is our plan? And here's what I know is that a lot of times we get stuck in this phase feeling like we don't know what we're going to do. We don't know exactly how it's all going to happen. But you know what? Your best guesstimate is better than no plan at all. So go ahead and come up with some kind of plan for how you think you're going to get there. Obviously, if you're in network marketing, hey, that's awesome because you have a built-in mentoring system where your upline, you can say, hey, listen, you know what? I really have a big goal. This is my goal. Can you help me come up with a plan for how you think we can get there? And you know what? They will help you. So we want to come up with a plan. Then the 5th part is we want to come up with a clear, concise statement for how we're going to carry it out. So basically, we got our first 4 things. We want to kind of put it together in like a paragraph format, you would call it. Something that you could read to yourself, something that actually makes sense instead of just kind of like, chicken scratch. Something that you could actually read to yourself on a regular basis or think about or envision, and it would inspire you. It would stir you up. And you know what? This is something that It's really powerful, okay? Let me share with you. This is my mission statement. I revise this. It's about 3 pages long. I revise this pretty much every month. Every month I kind of sit down, I look at what happened last month. I think about where my goals are. I think about what I want. I think about the people I want to help. I think about a lot of different things, and not just in business, but in different areas of life. In fact, this year, I was telling my husband, I said, you know what? There's 7 specific things I'm going to do every day, which is a lot. That's kind of a lot to bite off and chew, but you know what? Hey, we can do it. If we decide, we can go ahead and do whatever we decide and put our mind to. So you got all your dreams, you got all your goals, you got your plan, you got your time, you got exactly what you want to achieve. Write it down. That is huge. I don't know if you remember, I believe it was a study, I'm not sure if it was done at Stanford or Harvard, but it was years and years ago, and they took the entire audience, the entire graduating class, I think it was like 1970 or something like that, the entire graduating class, and they checked in. And they basically said, hey, are you writing down your goals? Are you not? Whatever your plans are. Then they came back like 30 years later, and there was not a lot of people that decided to write down their goals. I believe it was a mere 3%. Okay, but check this out. That 3%, their net worth, their business success, right, which is kind of like the point of going to college, was greater than the 97% combined. So if that's a testament to writing down goals, I don't know what else would be, because I think that's pretty awesome. So write it down. And then the 6th part of his 6 steps, which is probably, other than writing it down and actually coming up with it, this is probably the most powerful part. He says you want to take your mission statement, your vision, your major definite purpose, and you want to read it aloud twice daily. Once when you first get up and once when you go to bed at night. And it's not just actually reading it. You got to see it. You got to feel it. You got to believe it. You got to imagine. You got to step into that person. Because the person that you are today and the person that you hope to be at the end of the year when you've accomplished your dreams and goals, probably not the same person. You do things a little different. Maybe you walk with a little swagger. There's something that's going to change inside of you for you to get to those dreams and goals, for you to make all those things happen, for that to manifest in your life. So the key in this whole deal is really that last part, is the envisioning of it, declaring it over your life. Tony Robbins, which this man is amazing. Not only is he a major world changer and he's helped so many people change their lives, over 50 million people have gone through his events over the last 38 years, but the guy's got a lot of businesses. So that's his passion. But outside of that, this guy is like a rock star businessman. So back in the day when he was in his 20s, he started doing these things he called incantations. And I'm sure you've heard of affirmation statements, which is you kind of say what you want. But incantation is a little different, because it's like taking your mission statement and instead of reading it or closing your eyes, it's basically where you use your whole body to get into it. Have you ever done something and you were on a roll? I don't know, maybe you talked to a prospect and they said yes, and they just signed up. You're like, all right, let's go find the next one. You were in such an amazing state of mind. That's when you want to go over your goals. So how do you do that? Maybe you have to go for a run. Maybe you have to think about something that you're like, man, I could imagine sitting on the beaches of the world, or I could imagine helping my family. But if you can get yourself in a peak state, and then you can do the visioning, the declaring, everything that we talked about from the Think and Grow Rich book, you're going to be lethal. And one of the things that I think is so very important in getting our goals done is learning how to scale up, learning how to scale our business. We can only be in so many different places at one time. And of course, it's awesome being in network marketing. That's kind of the whole point, is that we work ourselves out of a job. We have other people that get the vision and they come on board. But one thing that I think is extremely powerful, especially if you're getting out there and you're doing a lot of presentations where you're face-to-face or you're contacting or you're prospecting, is learning how to basically scale that. If you could have prospects that were reaching out to you, would that be powerful? Yay or nay? I certainly know the answer is yes. Of course it would be life-changing. So one of the things that I would suggest, if you want to scale your business, we're going to get out there, we're going to do everything we talked about. We're going to declare a mission statement, we're going to go out there and prospect, we're going to go out there and show the plan. But if you could find a way where you actually had prospects connecting up with you, it would totally allow you to scale your business. It would totally be something that could take your life to the next level as we go into this new year. So I have something that will help you do that. It is learning how to attract people to you on social media. 4 specific elements that if you can master these, if you can take these principles and apply them in your business, not only will you be amazing at attracting people on social media, it's going to help you in a lot of other areas of life. So if you click on the link that's listed in the description, it's a free download. It's a free gift that will help you learn those skills so you can put them into practice and blow up your business. It's time tested. It will help you increase your results. Who is in charge of making your results come to pass? There's only one person, and that's you. So the more effective, the more powerful we can make you, the more we can see the call of God on your life expand. The things that God has put in your heart start coming into play, start coming into practice, start being things that you actually walk out and you see happen in this next year. So take it, use it, apply it, and I want to hear all the awesome success stories that happen because you started applying these principles in your life. This is something I've been doing. I started quite a few years ago, but it has been so very valuable to me. So I'm giving it as a gift to you. I hope you use it and open it up and apply it in your life. So that is all for tonight, my friends. It's so great to see you all. Take care, be blessed, and I'll see y'all next time. For more great training and to receive your free MP3 download on how to attract prospects using social media, the 4 essential elements to attracting prospects, visit summergeronimo.com.